Best music. Best music.
I love the music.
Best music.
WSCT Worldwide.
And you're back to the Morning Wake Up with Winston Warrior right here on WSCT Worldwide. We are changing the way you listen to radio, and now we are changing the way you think about computers. That's what I'm saying, because we have my man Sam from Simply Compute. He is waving to you, Ustream Looker owns, and saying to you, hey, this is what's going on with the world of computers and just troubleshooting the different issues you may have. So we've been taking up all the time with him because we asking our own questions that we want to know. So if you want to know something about a computer, you have a personal issue, then send it to the station, you know what I'm saying, WSCT. What's the Twitter? At WSCT Radio is the Twitter handle.
Yep.
Send us your questions and we'll get them on.
Give us a call.
Give us a call. What's the number? It is 770-257-9728 if you want to call in. We can do that too, because I just learned how to work it. So anyway, Sam, the question we have, the burning issue that we have right now is, and I know there's some bias coming from your side because I already feel it.
What?
Mac versus PC.
Dun, dun, dun,
Dun, dun, dun, dun, dun. Do I have a sound in here? Dun, 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 dun. I don't know if I have one. Let me see. That's not the one.
That wasn't it.
Do you have a chirping soundbite to follow that?
I don't know. Okay, so anyway, Mac versus PC. Sam, real talk. I mean, what is your position on that? Can you give us some advice? Because a lot of people are now trying to jump on the Mac bandwagon.
Well, you know, it's a difficult discussion because you have to ask yourself two questions. One, is it going to be for home? Well, three questions. What are you going to use it for? Is it going to be for home use or is it going to be for business? Okay, that's two. But anyway, home use or business, and then if it's business, are you in the music/creative business, or are you in a service business or a manufacturing kind of business?
Well, let's stop right there. Let's save some of that because we probably won't cover it all today. But let's just assume we're at home.
Okay.
And our listeners are just at home. They're looking for a new laptop so they can do all their little stuff that they like to do on the computer. We're not talking about y'all nasty people out there. Just regular stuff. The home computer.
Home computer.
Yeah. Home laptop.
You can go with either, and they will both do whatever you want them to do. But you're going to have to pay the Mac tax, as it's called, and pay an extra $500 to $1,000 for the Mac, versus the $400 Walmart special piece of junk laptop PC. Or you can buy a business class PC that will be every bit as sturdy and solid as the Mac for about the same amount of money. But the problem with the PCs is going to be maintenance. You're going to have to maintain them the way you would have to maintain a Mercedes. Change the oil, change the brakes, pay lots of time and money if you do it yourself. Well, pay lots of money if you hire someone, pay lots of time if you do it yourself.
Gotcha.
Where the Macs, they just run. They just run, the auto updates are solid, the program is solid. Just because of the...
They just run, baby!
Oh yeah, I've got a diesel Mercedes, it just runs. It's not fancy, it's not pretty, and it's great. And it was built to be maintained. And a Mac is a lot like that. There's certain things in there that you don't want to have to open one up and maintain it yourself. Changing hard drives and RAM chips are an absolute nightmare. You can do that in 10 minutes on most any laptop. That's not a Mac. But Macs are built with better hardware, generally speaking, until you get into the PC business lines that you can't buy in stores.
Gotcha.
I need you to dispel some rumors for me, Sam.
Okay.
What rumors are those?
I've been hearing that Macs are incapable of getting viruses. Specifically PC viruses.
Well, they can't get PC viruses because they're running Mac OS, which is based on top of Linux, FreeBSD. Don't ask what that is, your brain will explode.
Okay.
And my ears have already exploded with what you just said,
right.
So I can't even process what. Yeah.
But the reasons why there are more viruses on PCs than there are on Macs is that there are more PCs. As popular as Macs may be, they're only 5% of the world market.
Wow.
And they're only now getting to be, I think, 9% of the US market, which means there aren't a bunch of them out there. And as Bill Gates made way more enemies in business than Steve Jobs did. So there are plenty of people that have said, hey, this is easy to exploit, and we owe this guy some payback. where, Jobs, they, said that he was a, psycho control freak, but there were people that but there were people that he fired 2 and 3 times from that company that still worship the ground he walks on. So he was one of the greatest guys they ever worked with. So
it's not that it's more profitable to hack a Microsoft computer because it's just more of them. It's just that people just don't like.
It's a bit of both.
Yeah, I just heard both.
So would you say that it's having a Mac, so you shouldn't go around just doing whatever because you have a Mac?
Definitely not, because one of the little known facts in the industry is that Unix operating systems, which are always touted as the best performing, most secure, blah, 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 are no longer the most secure. I think Windows Vista and Windows 7 are actually considered more secure now, but when vulnerabilities and problems came out for Unix systems, the news is kept real quiet because everyone wants to worship the ground they walk on. So there's a lot of news bias in the computer industry saying, hey, these are better, these are better, these are better, and people don't hear about it.
Wow. All right. That's all I wanted.
Well, see this. Okay, so check this. Okay, so let's go back. I want to hear this again. So our Macs are, because I'm a Mac guy. I'm saying it. I'm a Mac guy. So look, for real. So I'm a Mac guy. So I'm saying this. We are vulnerable to whatever is out there that is targeted towards the Macs, but they're just few and far between.
For now, yes.
Yeah. And now, what about these new things I heard about? There was one virus that was going on, though, that was a Mac virus that happened not too long ago, right?
Yep.
So what was that whole thing about? I never saw it. It didn't affect my computer. Was it because I had updated it and it was already protected, or it was just targeted towards certain Macs? What was the deal with that?
Honestly, I haven't read up on it.
What?
News flashes. Well,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
99% of my business is PC based. And I've got a Mac in the shop right now that needs work and needs fixing. We work on them.
What's
Happy
wrong with
to do it. You fire it up and the video screen flashes for a second and it's gone. And it's old, and we had to scour the United States and the internet to find an external video cable adapter. And we found a store on eBay that actually sold this super secret special connector, because we called Apple, they don't have them anymore. We called the local places that deal in Apple here, called our friends in those shops, and they're like, nope. Don't have one.
Nope.
They probably secretly have one, and they're just not going to tell me because they know that I'll come in and beg them or steal it from them. They're not looking.
Give me that damn secret cord. I need it.
I had to mail order it from New England.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So I don't want to be biased. I mean, I am a Mac person. But what are some of the drawbacks? I mean, we talked about it, but what are some of the gotchas that we should be, alerting our listeners to if they're saying, "Yep, I'm going to go out and spend all this money for a Mac"? There has to be something that we should be aware of.
Well, if you've got a small business or a home-based business, don't buy one to run your business off of it, because the software out there for a Mac is like a tenth of what's available for the PCs. I've got clients that are stock traders. They all want Macs, but none of their software runs on a Mac.
Gotcha.
Now, you can get the best of both worlds with a Mac. There are 3 programs out there. There's Boot Camp, there's Parallels, there's VM Fusion that let you run Windows 7 on a Mac.
Wait a minute. Say those. You went real fast on us. Say those.
I've heard about that.
Say those one more time for us.
Boot Camp, Parallels, and VM Fusion.
VM Fusion.
Yep.
Okay, and where would we get those programs from? Which one, the Mac store or the regular just computer stores?
Actually, you could go to the Apple store and probably get Parallels and VM Fusion. Boot Camp, you probably have to download that off the internet.
Okay.
I've heard of that. They had that at UGA, I think. And I went into the little student athlete building, and they had Macs. And then they said, "Do you know how to use a Mac?" And some people were like, "No," and they just switched it, and it was Windows 7 on the Mac. I've never seen that before.
Oh yeah. Well, when they moved away from the Power PCs in the late 90s, early 2000s, they went with Intel chips, and the hardware inside that Mac and inside my laptop somewhere out there is identical.
Right.
Wow.
Absolutely 100% identical.
Yep.
You can take the PC RAM chips half the time and throw them in a Mac, and it'll fire up and be fine. The hard drive's completely interchangeable. CPU's interchangeable. So the hardware is the same. It's just the operating system that you're going to run. Is it going to be Mac OS or is it going to be Windows OS? So
Same
you get the
thing.
best of all worlds.
Wow.
So what do those what do those programs do specifically? If you could just give us a top line for each of those, the parallels,
They let you run Windows 7
gotcha.
on your Mac.
Gotcha. So if you're used to the Windows 7 operating system, then you can run it.
Absolutely.
And it works both ways. You can run a Mac OS on a Windows 7 computer.
You can, but it breaks copyright law. So haven't personally tried it. One of these days I will, but I won't tell you.
And you will have to be killed if.
Nah, you won't have to be killed. I'm not going to tell anybody. We're being recorded. We're live, and Apple owns more lawyers than we do.
Sam said. Sam said. No. So for personal use, and doing our Facebook and our little stuff that we're trying to do and everything, Macs are cool. But if we're having a small business and we're trying to run our small business, then unless we're getting one of those programs to run Windows 7, we're not getting the best of both worlds if we buy a Mac.
Correct.
Gotcha. Now, if I'm a music guy, I'm an R&B singer, I run my own kind of label. Well, not my own kind of, I run my own label. And I'm also a presenter on WSCT. So I use my Mac to run my business. Mm-hmm. Am I not getting all I can get right now? Or
well, do you do your account? How do you do your accounting?
My accountant.
Yeah, then you're fine. if you did a lot of retail transactions and you needed a program like QuickBooks or some other accounting package, that's where the Mac is going to start to lose out. Because the Mac version, QuickBooks, every small business in America will use either QuickBooks or Peachtree Accounting.
Right.
And Peachtree Accounting is like 5% of that market now. And the Mac version of QuickBooks, so I'm told, is not exactly stellar. So in that type of business, like if you had a small, corner grocery store or corner record shop, you're going to want to run your Parallels or Fusion and run QuickBooks for the PC.
Gotcha.
And it runs just like it's a computer inside a little application window, fully functional. It'll do everything you need it to do. It's just sitting in a little window as opposed to being booted up and nowhere to go outside of it.
I need to do that anyway, though, because, I need to check my account to make sure he's not stealing my money. You know what I'm saying?
You do.
I do. You know what I mean?
In the computer. That's the same.
Yeah.
It's the same. Damn.
Now my sister, she does music production and engineering up in New York, and she's got a Mac and she's got a PC because there are a couple things that the PC does in the music business that the Mac can't. And I think the truth is that it'll work. She just hasn't wanted to pony up the money for the Mac version or do a Mac.
Maybe I should get both. What do you think about that? Like a combo. Have a not the I hate to say it, the junk Walmart version that you referred to, but something that may be a little bit more sturdy, laptop
for a Mac.
No, I'm just saying get a PC. Yeah.
Oh yeah, my favorites are going to be the Dell Latitudes, hands down. A used Dell Latitude will often outlast a new consumer-grade computer. There's the HP ProBook, which is pretty good, and the HP EliteBook, which is really good. Lenovo, or actually not Lenovo, but the old IBM ThinkPads used to be the standard that everybody followed.
Yeah, I remember those. What happened? They just got out of the business. They said screw it.
Well, IBM just decided, we're not going to make computers anymore
because we getting our butt whooped.
No, actually, when it came to laptops, they had the bar none best laptop out there, the T42s and T43s.
No, man, from a profitability standpoint, they were getting their butt whooped.
Oh yeah. There's no margin in computer hardware.
Right.
None. The 1,000-unit quantities of the hard drives I buy for my shop are like $5 cheaper than what I pay for retail.
Wow.
And at $90 a hard drive, I'm not buying 1,000 of them.
Wow. You know what, Sam? This is a great conversation. Do you mind sticking around for a few more minutes?
I gotta run
to
the other side of town and teach.
Okay.
So I can give you like 2, maybe 3 minutes. and then I got to hit the road.
Okay, well, let me keep you on for 2-3 minutes. So look, we talked about the pitfalls of the Mac, but we haven't really talked about the pitfalls of a PC. Can we cover that in a couple minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I'm a PC guy, I'm a Dell. I just bought my Dell Latitudes. Whoa! Yeah! So what's the problem?
Maintenance, running Windows updates.
Okay.
The other problem is...
Seems like there's always a doggone update.
It is.
Yeah.
And they always slow down.
Oh my God. I'm like, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, it's true. They do. You've got maintenance. You've also got something called Windows rot.
Windows rot.
When you start...
We got max tax and the Windows rot.
Yep. Every time you restart a PC running Windows, it gets a little bit slower. You may not notice for a year, but it gets a little bit slower.
So I wasn't crazy.
No, you are crazy, but you noticed the right thing. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not so bad on Windows 7 the way it was on XP.
I had XP.
Yeah.
XP was the worst.
Oh
no, there was worse than XP.
Really? What was worse?
Windows 98 and Windows ME.
Oh, ME. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yo.
ME Millennium Edition. The crowning achievement in bad OS technology.
So okay, so the maintenance, the
There's
updates.
Maintenance. The other is hardware. Macs. There are, I don't know what, 10 models of Macs every 5 years. There's one basic laptop, one business class laptop, and then there's a super expensive desktop.
Right.
And the hardware in them changes very, very rarely. So when it comes to getting the operating system to talk to the hardware, because there's so little of it, making it work and be compatible and be efficient and reliable is very, very easy. With the PCs, the number of combinations due to hundreds of hardware vendors are in the billions, and the fact that it runs at all is really nothing short of amazing, and that it runs pretty darn well.
So because of all these combinations of permutations, the likelihood of something going wrong is just
way higher.
Way higher.
Yeah, because I feel like everything with Apple is in Apple. So like instead of with Windows, something comes from India, something comes from Asia, or Indian Asia, same thing, but something comes from South America. With Apple, everything comes from Apple, right?
Yep, they have they're very, very controlling. They're very OCD about what they're going to allow as software, how it will be, how it's going to be before that you can sell it.
Okay.
It has to meet a lot of strict testing and quality.
So wow. MacBook Pro, so I'm feeling pretty good right now.
So there's the pros and some cons for both. But you know what? We're going to continue our conversation next week. I really appreciate it, Sam. I'm looking forward to it, man. It's been great. You did a great job. I just want you to know, you did a great job, brother. Yes, sir.
Yep, I gotta run.
Thank you so much. And we'll be back. You keep it locked right here, WSCT Worldwide, the morning wake up with Winston Warrior. All right, more music. Here we go. Keep it locked.